My name's Rowan and my two boys are Jacob and Sam. Both of them were in the project, Jacob from right at the beginning and Sam from a couple of years later. It's mostly on my husband's side. We have his youngest brother, he's quite severely dyslexic. We were also talking to another family member, I think my husband's aunt, and she was saying that of her 4 children, 3 of them have dyslexia of different levels. But so there is obviously quite a strong link there somewhere on that side of the family. Sam, who's my youngest son, he had a very strange speech impairment. He hadn't shown any signs of speaking at all by the time he was 2. And in fact, he used to make a strange grunting noise to communicate. The health visitor sort of referred us to the various sort of hospital departments, and we did do some blocks of speech therapy. He was given a diagnosis of verbal dyspraxia. Eventually, when he did start speaking, the speech therapist did actually say that he didn't actually clear up in the way that verbal dyspraxia clears up, because it's apparently very resistant to therapy. And he actually just suddenly started talking and acquired language in the space of about 2 months. So it was very odd, but obviously it was a worry at the same time because there was no language there at all. And he was struggling even in speech therapy to make, the basic sort of sounds that children make when they are learning to speak. When he went into the nursery, he was talking, but especially if he was getting a bit excited, it was all sort of coming out in a jumble, and he could be quite difficult to understand. By the time he got to reception, I felt that he was starting to pronounce things more clearly, but he took to reading like a duck to water.
Is the batch job computer programming then? Gib asked. Since when have you been interested in computer programming? You hate the subject, I scowled. The books that I enjoy reading are the ones I read all the way through. Those are my favourite sort of books. Like my school readers.
Mm-hmm. Both boys struggle with a fine motor control. Sam in particular has a very odd pencil grip.
I don't really hold it properly, but then my handwriting gets even messier holding it properly. And it hurts a bit.
Yeah. So how do you hold your pen?
With most of my fingers. That's the only thing that's really hard about the actual writing.
And I got quite sort of concerned about that, and we got him referred to the hospital, who said that it was actually, he might not have the neatest writing, but that's fine. And so his handwriting it's not great. He does struggle, but he's getting better. And they also struggle with things like cutting or anything that's sort of fine motor control work. Sam also has problems with coordination, which is also one of the reasons we went to the hospital. He didn't get a diagnosis of being dyspraxic. What we said was he has problems attaining coordination. So anything like swimming, cycling, using a knife and fork are always going to be a slow process for him. I found being involved with both children was very interesting. We had these warnings that a speech impairment can mean that there are going to be learning difficulties. So it was really nice for us that at that young age we were seeing the fact that his scores for the tests were above average, that there wasn't anything other than the original problems that he had with his speech where he was faring badly. So it was nice and reassuring, and it's sort of that tied in with the fact he started making progress when he went to school and began to read very, very quickly indeed. The kids have enjoyed it. They like, I think they like the feeling of being special, getting some time out at school to go off and do things with the ladies from the university. Somebody once said to me that you are the child's best advocate. There's no use waiting for a teacher or a healthcare worker to start the ball rolling. You have to do that. But also, you've got to be prepared, I think, to do stuff like conversing more, reading more, just That all helps.